Bloody clever, those Germans. Hi, Tony here and welcome to the cave, and the topic of conversation today is luggage. For those of you that have been following the channel, you know that I'm fortunate enough to have two bikes. I've got my Street Twin, which the bulk of the content of the channel has been based around. I've also got the KTM adventure bike. Now when it comes to luggage, I may be looking for a bit of a holy grail, but I've reviewed a few bits and pieces in the past, but really I was looking for something that could be used on many different bikes without having to buy loads of different parts or having different bags for different bikes. And so when having a look around, I came across the Sys Bag, or the SY-motech system, from those clever people at SW-motech. Now the Sys Bag is a modular system. It's made up of 3 different size bags. They do a 10 litre, a 15 litre and a 30 litre, and then there's a range of accessories that go with those bags as well, so they can be used on their own with straps. They all kind of piece together in various combinations, and you'll see that as we go through the video. There's lots of loops and hooks, but they can also be mounted onto a back plate and attached to pannier sets as well. So having had a look around on the site at the myriad of options that you've got, I chose to go with 3 of these. The Sys Bag 15, and I'll go into the reasons why I picked this one in particular size-wise as we go through. But it comes in a nice bag. You have in the bag all of your bits and pieces that go with it. There are mounts and bits and pieces, but this is the bag. And then when you open up the bag, you've got loads of straps and bungs and lots of bits and pieces, all of which enable you to strap these bags together in some very ingenious ways. Now, because I wanted to use this on the KTM as well as the Street Twin, I also ordered some of the backing plates. Now these are very quick and easy to fit. You've just got 4 fixing bolts and you can get one of these off in a couple of minutes, and so you've got that flexibility of being able to have that snap onto a pannier or take this off and have it strap onto a seat. Now before I get bogged down with getting into details of all the variations that you've got, because it's huge, let's just have a quick look at the bag. These bags are semi-rigid, so they're soft on the front, but there is a plastic lining in the inside, still flexible, but it does mean that it holds its shape. They're a tough kind of ripstop material. The outer is weather resistant, it's not waterproof, but if we look inside, you can see that it is a traditional roll top bag, and there is a waterproof liner that goes down inside that. So your gear will stay nice and dry, and if you need to, you can just take that center liner out, and that liner is shaped to the shape of the bag, and it's quite a pleasing shape as well. You've got lots of straps and hooks on there. You can see the fitting for the top is a hook and loop, and you've got those along the side, and they'll become evident as we go through the videos how you can use those. You've got some nice reflective strips on here, a soft sort of slightly padded rubberized back, so if you're putting this onto a seat, it's not going to create any damage. It does have a carry handle as well, so if you want to take it off and carry it, you can. And in that pile of straps that I showed you, there is a shoulder strap that can be put on this, which is adjustable, and I think it's a really nice looking bag. Pretty muted, plain black, just a small SW-motech logo on there and a little bit on the side. And although the bag is relatively sturdy, it's not a heavy bag. Now as we delve inside, in the lid there is a mesh pocket for you to put things in. Now I did notice in one side, I think it's on this side here, there does appear to be a magnet with a part that it meshes on there. So you've got to be careful what you put up here. I guess phones and things could be affected by that, and I'm guessing that magnet is just to be able to hold that down and help to keep that shut and stop it flapping around when it's closed. I'm not entirely sure. And as I mentioned earlier, you have got that waterproof liner. It is just one big empty space, but quite a bit of space on there, and that's velcroed in, so you can just take that liner out if you need to. It's not really going to give you any more space, to be honest, but if you need to take it out to dry the bags out without that liner in, that's very handy. No velcro closing at the top. It is just literally a straightforward roll top, roll it together, clip and close. and away you go. I went for this size because I wanted something relatively slimline on the bike. These three combined obviously give me 45 litres of carrying space. One of the reasons I didn't go for the 30 litre bag, particularly on the sides, is that they stick out. Once they're on the rack, especially on the exhaust side where it has to be extended out, it sticks out quite some way. Now that's fine if you're doing some touring, but for me, if I don't need the space, there's not a lot of point of having that on there. It just gets in the way when you're trying to filter. And so I went for the 315 litres, which I thought was going to give me that flexibility, but it also means that I could use those strapped together on the Street Twin. Now with the multitude of hooks and loops and straps that you've got on here, you can put these together quite nicely. And also because of the way the bags are shaped with this kind of angled finish, they go together really nicely. So on the Street Twin, I realised that I could strap one of these to the seat using the straps that came with it, and then the other two will strap to the sides, almost making like a saddle bag, but instead of being one big space, you've got three separate areas. And the way you do it is by using the loops on here, which connect to the side strap. So if this is on the top, these then connect to those that hang on the side, and then you've got the side ones of these that hook on, and that's obviously evident when you look at the photographs.
German engineering, nice.
So when it comes to using it on panniers, you just buy this additional part, this backing plate, which comes with these fixings, and they are sided as well, left and right, so you have to be careful of those. If you're only going for one side, make sure you order the correct one. But if you're buying the bag to strap onto a bike and you're never going to use it on panniers, or don't intend to use it on panniers, you don't have this heavy hard section built onto the back of the bag, and also you're not having to pay for something that you're never going to use. One thing I have to say is the instructions that come from SW-motech are fantastic. They're one of the best that I've seen when I'm putting bits and pieces like this together. Obviously, I think the TUV standard that's required in Germany means that it has to be tip-top, but everything is labelled. There's no confusion over what size bolts you need, and everything just fits together perfectly. So to give you an idea of what's involved to getting that on, I'm not going to bore you to death going through it in huge detail, but I'm just now going to show you how the Pro side racks fit and how the Adventure top rack fits, then the accessories that come with those to enable you to snap these on and get out there and have an adventure. So there you go. You can see how flexible this system is. There's a huge number of combinations that you can put together, and I'm really pleased with it, the way it works on both bikes. Now I know I'm going to get a lot of comments down below saying I prefer this one's better. What I wanted was something was very flexible and something that would work across a number of bikes, and for me the SW-motech system does that. So are there any problems with it? The biggest drawback for me is the fact that these don't lock. They're just hook and loops. So if you are on the bike and you want to pop in and stop somewhere, unless you use some other kind of third-party security device, straps or chains or whatever it may be, then they can be easily opened and indeed easily taken off the bike. The racks themselves can be locked to the bike, so there is an additional security adapter which just replaces the little spring clips with a key lock, so you can make sure the panniers can't be taken off. You can't say the same about these bags. Outside of that, the build quality is exceptional, the instructions are first class, and price wise, well, they're about on par with some of the other soft bags out there really. By the time you start buying adapter plates and the other bits and pieces, that can get quite expensive. But the advantage for me is that I can throw them onto the adventure bike on the panniers. If I take the backing plates off, I can strap them together and put them on the street twin. If I then decide that I want to go up to having aluminium panniers, well, I've already got the rack, so the SW-motech side panniers and top box will just go onto what I've already got, and obviously then I can mix and match in between the two.
Is that useful?
Extremely.
So as you can probably tell, I really like the system, and I think these bags are going to last me for a long time. All that leaves me to say then is thank you for watching, and until next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah.